Next up is Kyle Ranally from Facebook. For the last 3 years, he's worked on uncovering global consumer insights and trends as a part of Facebook IQ, the platform's home for insights. As marketers and business owners, we're all aware that one of the biggest challenges for businesses in this new age of online shopping is creating a loyal customer base. So what's a savvy brand to do? In this talk, Kyle's going to share his new loyalty equation for gaining loyal customers and keeping them. Kyle, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Ranally, and I'm a Global Vertical Insights Marketing Strategist at Facebook IQ. I'm very excited to be joining you today at AdWorld Conference to share some new insights that will hopefully transform your business and marketing strategies in the year to come. But first, if you're not familiar with Facebook IQ, we're Facebook's home for insights powered by what unfolds on our platforms every single day. We focus on identifying consumer, advertising, and industry insights and trends that help businesses better prepare for the future. Our content and tools are all completely free to use, so I encourage you all to check us out at facebookiq.com. If you ask the average person before the pandemic what it meant to go shopping, you might get descriptions looking something like this. A few friends meeting up at a local store to shop around for the latest sales or to find a new outfit for a special occasion. The shopping experience was almost just as much about the social outing as it was going in to buy something new. You might take your time flipping through racks or sorting through shelves to discover that one special item that you desperately wanted to find. And in some cases, you might even find some things you didn't even know you wanted until you laid eyes on them in that moment. If you fast forward to today and ask that same question, the answers you'll receive might look quite different. The pandemic has substantially altered what it means to go shopping, with new buying methods taking center stage. On Facebook and Instagram, we're seeing that increasingly, shopping is being discussed in new and different ways. As people spend more time inside their homes, subscription service usage skyrocketed, changing how people receive items like food and personal care products. In the US, we saw a 3.2 times growth in conversations on Instagram around meal kits from 2019 to 2020. As shoppers became more intentional for their in-store shopping needs, prioritizing quick trips for specific items, we also saw nearly 3 times more conversations around pop-up shops on Facebook. Consumers also began embracing omni-channel offerings like click and collect and curbside pickup in large numbers. So we saw conversations on Facebook around pre-ordering nearly double from 2019 to 2020. And due to the economic impact of the pandemic, paired with heightened emphasis on sustainability, peer-to-peer marketplaces have become common grounds for commerce. On Instagram, we saw 1.2 times growth in conversations around direct selling year over year. As you can see, the definition of what it means to go shopping is no longer what it used to be, and has fundamentally changed, likely for the long term. It's no surprise that the past year has brought unprecedented change to people's lives across virtually every aspect. In the words of Facebook's Vice President of Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Nicola Mendelsohn, 2020 has shouldered a decade's worth of behavior change. This mass digital education of the public has been a cross-generational phenomenon that's very quickly had a cross-category impact, digitalizing entire consumer journeys from interest to purchase to customer experience. One of the most noteworthy aspects of behavior change during the pandemic has been the growth of digital's influence on shopping journeys. In the US, the pandemic accelerated e-commerce adoption to the point where we saw 10 years worth of growth in just 2 months. This momentum continued throughout the holiday shopping season, with online revenues reaching record highs, growing by 32% in the US from 2019 to 2020. And this digital acceleration is here to stay. As people shop for products online more often, or even for the first time in some cases, they became exposed to the benefits and conveniences offered by e-commerce. This has in turn impacted their shopping preferences, with more than a third of US consumers saying they now prefer to shop for categories like personal care, electronics, fashion, and even food and beverage online over in-store. This digital acceleration has also led to new frontiers, which seemed nearly impossible several years ago. For the first time anywhere, it's projected that e-commerce will account for the majority of retail sales in China in 2021, demonstrating the immense potential of digital. The way we shop wasn't the only thing impacted by the pandemic. The financial uncertainty presented by the virus made people more cautious and conservative when spending on non-essential items. At the beginning of the pandemic, 69% of US consumers said they were trying to buckle down and spend less money overall, and 45% said they turned down or decided not to buy something that they would have been willing to purchase in the past. This reflects the overall trends in retail revenue. From 2019 to 2020, essential categories like food and beverage saw substantial revenue growth, while non-essential categories like apparel and beauty suffered harsh declines. However, we're at an inflection point now. After a year of diminished demand and paused purchasing, shoppers are now becoming more open to spending on items both big and small. At the end of 2020, 33% of US consumers said they're willing to spend money on luxury or high-end items, and 48% said they were seeking out small indulgences like nice soaps, lotions, or candles to treat themselves. And both of these sentiments have grown by 9 points since May of last year. And led by the optimism of the vaccine rollout, this confidence is continuing into 2021. According to eMarketer forecasts, retail sales worldwide are projected to bounce back, estimated to surpass $25 trillion in 2021. The National Retail Federation also predicts that retail revenues in the US might see their highest growth rates in 17 years. As spending starts to normalize back to pre-pandemic levels, however, new shopping habits continue to persist. In fact, 82% of consumers globally say that they've changed shopping habits since the beginning of the pandemic, and among those, 92% say they plan to continue these habits even after the pandemic is over with. Whether it's experiential technology revamping e-commerce, new friction impacting both in-store and online buyers, or emerging digital platforms disrupting conventional loyalty, the future of shopping has truly come much earlier than expected. In order for businesses to succeed in retail's new normal, they must understand how to engage shoppers where they are across different channels and mindsets. As we enter this new era of shopping behavior, today we'll explore 5 global consumer shifts that are here to stay and that marketers need to account for in their strategies to ensure that their businesses are truly prepared for the future. So let's dive in with our first trend, shopping redefined, how a re-examination of priorities is leading to complex purchase decisions. According to Nicole Riley, founder of the publication Retail Minded, one of the things that consumers have started to recognize during the pandemic is that their preferences of where they shop means more to them now than it did in the past. We know that consumers are now faced with many criteria when deciding what and how to buy. As people increasingly rely on digital and mobile to evaluate purchase decisions, they're exposed to immensely more information than ever before, resulting in a more discerning and mindful consumer. As I mentioned earlier, people are starting to feel more confident in their spending habits, but price remains a key factor in driving these decisions, with 74% of consumers globally so they're focused on getting the best deal on everyday items. This is leading to an increased thriftiness in how consumers approach buying products as they embrace a more deal and discounting hunting mindset. In fact, 61% of consumers globally said they're actively seeking out deals and coupons, and 43% say they wait for a promotion or a discount for a product that they really wanted to buy. When it comes to in-store shopping, safety and reliability have become new expectations when determining where to shop due to the virus and inventory shortages. In fact, 71% of shoppers globally say it's very important that retailers create a safe environment in which to shop, and 68% say it's crucial that retailers always have stocked up products that they're interested in buying in stock. The shift to safer shopping has created an appetite for in-store innovations that will likely continue to persist even after the pandemic is over with. For example, more than a third of consumers would like to see more contactless payment options in stores, and more than a fifth say retailers should offer more curbside pickup services. When deciding where to shop online, added convenience and delivery capabilities are increasingly influencing purchase decisions. Delivery time is particularly important for younger shoppers, with more than 7 in 10 Gen Z and millennial consumers globally saying delivery time is very important in determining where they shop online. This is compared to 66% of Gen Xers and 57% of baby boomers. Additionally, nearly 1/3 of Gen Z shoppers said the option of a next-day delivery significantly increases their likelihood of making an online purchase. On top of all this, brand values and corporate social responsibility are also driving consumers' decisions both online and in-store, with 56% of shoppers globally saying it's very important that the brands they buy from support the same values that they believe in. Sustainability is also more top of mind for consumers as they reassess how their purchases impact the planet. In fashion, for example, we saw US conversations about sustainable fashion on Instagram nearly double from 2019 to 2020. As activism plays a bigger role in consumers' lives, they expect brands and retailers to step up and take part in the conversation to create a better tomorrow. So what does this all mean for marketers? Adapting shopping experiences both in-store and online to meet the new expectations such as safety and reliability can make consumers feel comfortable, build trust, and encourage shopping action. Let's move on to our second consumer shift, navigating shopping risks, how consumers are facing new friction points in-store and online. With the shakeup in shopping norms, consumers are facing new types of friction. In consumer psychology, there are actually 6 types of perceived risk. Functional, will the product or experience perform as I expect? Physical, is the product or experience potentially harmful? Social, what will others' perceptions of the product or experience be? Psychological, will the product or experience cause any emotional distress? Financial, will I be able to afford this product or service? And lastly, time. How much time and effort will be needed to make this purchase? Physical risk is now much more apparent when consumers go into stores, with 89% of shoppers saying that they felt at least somewhat concerned to go into a physical retail location to shop because of the pandemic. And this is impacting buying behaviors, with more than a third of grocery shoppers saying they've stocked up on products to limit trips to stores, and 65% of shoppers saying that they've either used or been interested in using click and collect buying methods. When shopping online, consumers are faced with a different type of risk, especially with the influx of new digital buyers. In fact, it's estimated there were approximately 145 million new online purchasers added globally in 2020 alone. Since online shopping has been the norm for younger generations like Gen Z and millennials, most of the new digital buyer growth has come from baby boomers. From 2019 to 2020, there was more than a 20% increase in US digital buyers over the age of 65, which is 5 times greater the growth of any younger age segment according to eMarketer. The issue is that less than a third of consumers and only 13% of those over the age of 55 so they consider themselves experts when it comes to online shopping. So there's still a big knowledge and comfort gap with the technology. This increases the prevalence of both functional and psychological risks as shoppers adjust to not being able to evaluate products in person or feel 100% confident in their purchase decisions. Some consumers are hacking the e-com experience to overcome these barriers, with more than 4 in 10 online shoppers across the globe saying they sometimes order several different items with the intention of trying and returning the ones that they don't like. Reducing in-store and online shopping friction by taking steps such as cutting wait times and ensuring seamless payment experiences can put consumers at ease and encourage repeat visits. Now let's move on to our third consumer shift, reversing roles, how in-store is becoming increasingly transactional while online is becoming more experiential. Despite e-commerce's rapid growth, it's still projected that 80.5% of total retail sales globally will take place in-store. As we shift into an increasingly omni-channel world, the roles of in-store and online are reversing, with physical stores becoming more transactional and e-commerce becoming more experiential. Shoppers are now going into stores more prepared than ever before. About 2/3 of shoppers say that most of their decisions are planned as opposed to spontaneous. Driven by the demand for an expedited brick-and-mortar experience, consumers are now looking for more efficiency while in store. In fact, 44% of in-store shoppers in the US say a faster express checkout would significantly improve their overall shopping experience. And digital is serving as a key resource in this pre-store trip planning phase, with 90% of consumers globally saying that they discover new products or brands online. This opens up opportunity for digital to offer experiential formats to give consumers the benefits that they were used to while going into stores. Augmented reality, virtual reality, live commerce, and conversational commerce via messaging services are just some of the emerging technologies helping consumers turn their living rooms into fitting rooms. In fact, 63% of online shoppers say they want to virtually try on products from the comfort of their own home, and nearly half of online shoppers say that they would buy products directly from live videos where brands, celebrities, or influencers they follow are launching new products. Consumers are also looking for more convenience and relevance in their digital shopping experience, expecting to easily discover products based on their needs and lifestyle. And technology plays an important role in this, with 2/3 of online shoppers agreeing that tech's role is to recommend products that meet in-the-moment shopping needs. Additionally, 66% of consumers agree that social media has become as important as other information sources when making product purchase decisions. As a result, we're seeing more serendipitous discovery taking place online, with 61% of consumers saying they were motivated to shop for apparel, electronics, beauty, or furniture because they happen to come across it unexpectedly while browsing. And this is compared to 48% who say they were intentionally seeking out these products to complete a frequent purchase. Fueled by data and machine learning, there's a new generation of e-commerce blossoming, and at Facebook we call this discovery commerce, a phenomenon where instead of people searching out a product, automation helps products find the right people. By bringing digital efficiencies to in-store experiences and immersive technologies such as AR, VR to online experiences, it's possible to deliver the best of both worlds to consumers at all times. Let's move on to our fourth consumer shift, called Across the Street, Around the World, how shopping carts are going global. The pandemic has created a new sense of dual identity for consumers as they redefine what community means both locally and globally. And this has impacted how and where people shop. They're seeking to balance 2 geographic extremes when it comes to their purchase decisions and are becoming global consumers in the process. More and more, consumers are prioritizing supporting small businesses in their local communities to help keep them afloat. In fact, 2/3 of shoppers say they've taken at least some measure to support a small local business, such as making a special effort to purchase from one of them or promoting them on social media. We also saw a 23% increase in clicks on local business search results on Facebook from February to May of last year. At the same time, heightened adoption of e-commerce has opened the door to more opportunities for cross-border business. In the first half of 2020, global cross-border online sales increased by 21% compared to the same time frame in 2019. And social media is contributing to this growth by exposing shoppers to new and interesting brands from abroad. Compared to non-users, Facebook platform users globally are 1.5 times more likely to purchase products shipped from other countries, and more than twice as likely to say they do so because they often discover new and interesting products from other markets. While consumers are choosing to buy abroad, it's important that international businesses still create a local feel. Nearly 2/3 of cross-border shoppers across the globe say having native language availability on websites or apps is very important in their purchase decision, and 55% say it's crucial that social media advertising be available in their native language. Consumers are increasingly looking both locally and globally, and businesses can follow their lead. Consider how you provide support for local communities while simultaneously evaluating new potential markets for expansion. Our final consumer shift is called the new loyalty equation, and how empathy, transparency, and value spell loyalty. In the words of EQ Sun, who's the head of industry for retail in South Korea at Facebook, while pricing comes first to drive loyalty for online and offline shopping, broader considerations around customer experience, such as delivery returns policies, proactive customer service, and consumer safety protocols have been highlighted in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. With so much disruption, loyalty has taken a huge hit in recent months. Comparing pre-pandemic to current attitudes, there have been a significant decrease in self-reported consumer loyalty towards both physical stores and digital shopping sites across the globe. In the US, for example, there's a 10-point decrease in consumers saying that there are physical stores that have earned their loyalty, and a 5-point decrease in saying the same for online retailers. Just as consumer shopping decisions have gotten increasingly complex, attracting loyal customers has also become much more challenging. While price and promotion remain top factors in driving repeat purchases both online and in-store, brands and retailers have several other avenues to develop more personal relationships with customers. Ultimately, today's modern loyalty equation consists of 7 factors that brands and retailers need to consider. First, ensure that you have stocked up availability for products and brands your consumers want to buy. Due to the increased prevalence of out-of-stock items during the pandemic, 7 in 10 consumers globally say that it's very important that retailers always have stocked up inventory. Next, offer affordable prices for these products or services. Half of consumers say that good pricing drives them to make repeat purchases from the same retailers, making it the #1 driver for getting customers to return. Third, be easily accessible to consumers at all times. 77% of online shoppers say they feel more connected to a brand if they're able to contact it directly to ask questions or to provide feedback. And messaging services like WhatsApp or Messenger can enable this form of always-on and personal customer support. Next, display and promote the brand attributes that matter most to your customers. For example, 55% of shoppers globally say that it's very important that the brands they buy from use environmentally friendly manufacturing practices. So consider highlighting these attributes in your communications or on your packaging. Fifth, facilitate seamless, friction-free experiences to encourage shopping actions. As consumers increasingly navigate between online and offline channels, half of consumers globally now say offering a good omni-channel shopping experience is very important when deciding where they buy. 6, be altruistic in showing care and support for your customers and employees. A stunning 90% of consumers want companies and brands to do everything they can to protect the well-being and financial security of their employees and suppliers, even if it means suffering big financial losses. And lastly, offer assurance to customers so they feel more confident in your brand. 55% of shoppers across the globe say they want to feel more confident in their purchase decisions, so consider how your customer experience strategy can foster an ecosystem of always-on assurance. Earning shoppers' loyalty and their business more broadly in 2021 will be no easy feat. However, consistent success may be found by developing a multifaceted strategy that addresses factors that have long been influential on decision-making, as well as those that have risen in importance because of the pandemic. Thank you so much for listening. For more information, I encourage you all to download our full report, The Future of Shopping Has Come Early, Perspectives from the Industry, available now on Facebook IQ. Thanks again.